Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 8th edition of Best As a Podcast I bring to you weekly, and even throughout all the many issues I run into every single week, I continue to bring it to you consistently for over 2 months now. Once again, I have brought a guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Domonero. I'm a YouTuber. I do a lot of gaming videos and montages, and now I'm trying to branch off doing some film edits just for fun. And I'm just happy to be here.
What would you say first made you want to create content on YouTube?
Oh, okay. Well, basically, back in like the PS3 Call of Duty days, I had a lot of friends online, and we like they became my best friends like ever because we just met online. And at the time, I was kind of a lonely kid at school, so I didn't relate to many people there because none of them played games. But when I met this group of people online, we really bonded, got close, and we had a lot of fun. Like a lot of funny moments would hand them randomly just in passing. And I figured I think it'd be really cool if I could like save these moments somehow and I don't know, put it as a video somewhere. And then that's exactly what I did. So I would always be constantly recording. And if something funny happened, I would save it and then throw it in storage. And then I would subtitle it later in editing and put it online. Then we just all enjoy it together. And I know it's going to stay there for many years to come. And then it just became a really fun hobby. And I learned more about video editing along the way. So I try to get more creative throughout the years. And I think it's gotten way better since the first day I started.
I think the biggest thing about creating content online is, especially the more you do it and the more you have fun and the more you want to grow, the more you're going to learn how to do things better, whether it be small or big. You're going to learn these minor things that help just everything overall. And then when you look back on it later, you're like, man, I've learned a lot here.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I remember like my very first day of editing, there was so much I didn't know that I know now. Like just it was mostly like little stuff, like how to handle a certain rendering correctly or how to like cut this or put a transition here and everything. It would take me like a whole hour to figure out, but now I can just do it on the fly within like a couple of minutes and it's just nothing. And then looking back, seeing how much I've learned, it's awesome. And then now I try to use it in daily life, if any way. Like it might be like a family vacation video or something I might need for school, and then I just have it ready to go. But yeah, I learned so much. I'm glad I did it.
That's the fun part. Well, quote unquote fun part of editing. It's like, okay, you need to learn how to do something for this video, so you spend an hour or so probably very quickly getting angry when you fail to do it a while, and then you figure it out, you master how to do it, and it's all good. Until you have to
Yeah,
learn something new, then you go through the cycle again and again.
and again and
I've
again, you're
used
like, you know what? I'm
I've
done.
used Photoshop and Sony Vegas for years, and I'm still learning new things to improve the quality.
Nice. I remember my first editing software ever was iMovie, and then it was like from like a middle school film class, and we just learned how to just cut, make straight to transitions and subtitles, and that's it. But then after sticking with iMovie for a while, I'm like, yeah, this is the best editing program ever. I don't need anything else. I'm good. And then I noticed there's some. Well, when I felt comfortable with iMovie to the point where I was not frustrated because of what I was doing, but I was mad because like I can't do this on this program, it can't handle it, or the rendering would just like make this thing crash. I can't do this. And I heard about Final Cut Pro 10, which is like iMovie on steroids. So I switched there and it was just, it could handle everything I wanted to do, but it was a totally new UI because it was meant to be like a professional editing program. And I had to learn so much, but I'm glad I did. And then actually, I remember, sorry, one more thing. I used to make thumbnails on PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. Yeah, and it was like looking at the PowerPoint, like the or the thumbnails. I told my friends about this, like, "What'd you make in PowerPoint? Let me see it. Where's the PowerPoint thumbnail?" I show them to it, and like they look at my channel, like, "That was made in PowerPoint." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "It looks decent." I'm like, "Thank you." I like to think I mastered PowerPoint, but once I realized like it's kind of low quality and I shouldn't be doing that, like it wasn't a normal thing that people do. I'm like, you know what? I should do it on a different program. And then now I just go to Final Cut Pro 10 and just edit like one single frame, make it look all nice, and just save that, export that as just a single frame, and that becomes a new picture for the
but
thumbnail.
but I definitely feel like your experience making thumbnails in Photoshop, or not Photoshop, PowerPoint
Yeah.
definitely leads you better
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Like, God bless the broken road that brought me straight to Final Cut Pro. So,
Speaking
yeah.
of fun things in school, taking us to China. Chinese schools enforce smart uniforms. These have GPS tracking
Mm?
systems to monitor students. As students enter the
Uh-oh.
school, the time and date is recorded along with a short video that parents can access via a mobile app. Facial
What the?
recognition further ensures that each uniform is worn by its rightful owner to prevent
Mhm.
students from cheating the system. Skipping classes triggers an alarm to inform teachers and parents of the truancy, while an automatic voice alarm activates if a student walks out of school without permission. A
Oh
GPS
my
system tracks student movements even beyond the school grounds. Alarms will also sound if a student falls asleep in class, while parents can monitor purchases their child makes at the school and set spending limits via a mobile app. Wow,
what? Wait, is that a real thing or a Black Mirror plot? That's
this is a real thing.
Oh, there's so many questions and problems I could see with that coming. Oh my God. That's oh no. No.
How do
Are
you
the kids
feel if
responding?
you're
How
a
do I feel about it?
child? How do you feel if you're the
Oh
child
no.
that has to deal with this?
Well, I already feel that level of like being hawked at. Like when I was a kid, I had very strict parents who were very like kind of like a watchful eye over everything I do, and it just felt stressful just them doing it physically, but knowing that they would check their phones and be like, "Okay, he enters school at 7:54 a.m. I told him to be there 7:50. Oh my God!" And then I hear that at home, like you can't get away with anything. I think those kids would go crazy. I would go crazy. That's just insane.
You
Like
couldn't even fall asleep in school at that point.
no, and then the fact that, like, how do they recognize, like, who's what student wearing it?
It said facial recognition, so I assume there's some camera somewhere
What?
that's making
Like
sure.
there's a camera on the sleeve, like, "Oh, yeah, that's David," and just go in?
It didn't specifically say the facial recognition is a uniform, part of the uniform, but I assume it has to be a camera somewhere.
Jesus, and if they're all uniforms, all the clothes look alike, so what if, like, some really messed up kids play a prank where they switch, like, 2 people's shirts even though it looks exactly the same, and then the alarm just goes off, and like, "Oh, what the hell happened?" It's like, "Oh, someone switched our shirts. We're sorry. We didn't mean to call the cops here because we switched shirts."
But man,
Oh,
this sounds so awful and like
yeah, it's unnecessary. I don't know who voted for that. I don't know if why they really needed that. Like,
well,
what?
clearly, when you're in school, you're supposed to have zero freedom whatsoever. You're supposed to be strictly on task at all times to get
Mhm.
maximum proficiency out of the student.
I mean, I already felt that physically without all those nightmare gadgets on, so this is really unnecessary.
You know, I'm thinking this through, and would this also mean, like, since it can track pretty much everything else you do, does that mean it's tracking how long you're in the bathroom or how
Oh
long,
god,
like,
no. Like, "Hey, Timmy, it says you're in the bathroom for an hour, but I sent you out 2 hours ago. What happened?" And you're like,
nothing?
Nothing, nothing, I swear." Or, like, I think some students would try to play a prank where they'd be like, "David, how are you going 30 miles an hour across the hallway?" "I don't know," but they're just throwing their shirt across the hallway really fast just to mess with the teachers.
Man, how much money would this even cost?
I don't know, like, can't they just spend money on books and food and stuff? Like, where do they get the money for that? Like,
I,
that's insane.
I feel like as a student, I didn't really value going to sleep in class until like senior year, maybe junior year of high school. I was never a sleeper. I was always paranoid I'd snore, even though I had no history of snoring. This was always just a paranoia I had. And then I stopped
Yeah,
caring when I got old enough, so I just slept.
well, that's pretty good. Me, like, I wouldn't sleep exactly, but, like, when you relax and you just zone out where, like, your brain is relaxing, but you're not stressed out, you're just zoning out, but you're still awake. Like, if someone's like, "Hey, there's a fire," you will notice there's a fire, but if someone's trying to have a deep conversation, you're not gonna pay attention. Like, that's the way I zone out. And
Yep.
I would do that in class, but I would just, like, I would like kind of like rest my head on my hand or like my arm and still look at the teacher. So I'm still looking in a way. But if I felt really tired, like say like I don't know, if I had a lot of homework until 2, 3 a.m. the night before, I would sleep like one eye at a time. Like I let one eye rest and switch it over and over, no problem. And then one time I actually got caught sleeping with both eyes closed, but I could still hear everything. Like I was just resting my eyes, but I was still listening. And my teacher is like, "Hey, you open your eyes." I'm like, I'm just Asian." And then the teacher felt really bad. And then he's like, "Oh no, 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 I didn't mean like it's fine, it's fine." He's like, "No, you're just stumbling," and he never called me out on that again. And I always sat in the far side of the room, so it's kind of hard to tell if I was sleeping or not. I would just keep it my eyes like just as like near closed as I can. And then if he like, so I knew if he ever called at me, I could pull that Asian card again. I was totally safe. So racism saved me.
Well, at
There you
least
go.
you figured out how to debunk that system. See, for me, like,
Exactly.
my teachers definitely, like, if you had your head on your arm, they really didn't appreciate that. They didn't appreciate if you had your eyes closed. It was,
Hmm.
I just don't know what they really expect. Do you really want me to stare into your soul as you teach me about something I don't care about?
Yeah, just keep your back super straight, and then like follow like the teacher's body like with your own shoulders, and just like a robot, just like auto linked, and never blink. Just like keep full eye opens, like you're just surprised for like a whole hour, and then
You have to
just
be
stare
like
at them.
the AI in an Elder Scrolls game where they just twist their body to make sure they're staring straight at you no matter what you do.
Exactly. And then like if you drop a pencil on the floor, like you don't have an animation in your body system to actually do that. So you have to actually stand up and then crouch down, pick it up, and then like sit straight down, even though you could have just reached for it with your foot or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
I bet there's someone there does that.
I'm reading this through again, and I don't understand the facial recognition. If I just don't
I don't
get
know
it.
where they put that in. Yeah, like did they install it on there, or did they go to school and like check like a barcode against the uniform? I guess that would make sense, but that just really why would you want that or need that? Like, was that a problem with the students?
Maybe, but at the same time, is that really the solution we go with?
I mean, like, let's say if you wanna, if you're, let's say your buddy's like sick at home, and he's like, dude, I can't miss today's attendance, so I'll get yelled at. So it's okay, Tim, and I'll take your uniform inside my bag and just bring it in, and then like, and on the monitor just shows like Tim hugging you the whole day, so just in your bag.
You know, when it came to me in school, there was multiple things I had figured out. Homework
Mhm.
never was going to do that. That should not be a thing in school. I never believed in homework. I stand by that opinion. I'll go to the grave with that opinion. Homework is not a needed thing. And
Mhm.
also, I'm taking every off day I can based on the legally amount of sick days or whatever you're allowed to have before you get in trouble. I took all those days off. And I'd
You're
plan
like,
it
is this
too.
you plan it out? You're like, it's like, oh well, let's see, I have like three like legal sick days before I get detention, so I guess I'm having a 6 day weekend, guys. Later, and just go.
And it'd just generally be like, oh, hey, mom, yeah, I still have this off day left. I'm gonna use it right here. Don't worry, nothing's going on today in school. It's all fine. And that'd just be
Nice.
how it'd go. It was pretty good, you know. I enjoyed my off days. The teachers didn't really appreciate me taking these off days, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Throw you out of school even though you already just stepped out, or?
Oh, and the third thing I had figured out in school during my last few years in high school, Michelle Obama had changed it to where, okay, we can't have all these good sodas in the school anymore. We have to remove it and put diet soda and all that fun in it. And so
Mm,
school rules changed to be, oh, you can't have soda in school or whatever. So I just bypassed
ugh.
that with a water bottle. And it was an understanding with the teachers. I'm not going to spill this drink. If you want me to stay awake in your class, just let me drink it. I'm not going to cause
Yeah,
any issues. Just let me stay awake. This helps me stay awake. You have coffee right there. I can see it. This is my
yeah.
equivalent.
Exactly. And there's that one kid in the corner like, if he can bring water, I can bring cocaine. Just like right around his desk.
I went to 2 high schools, and the first one, it was when e-cigarettes were becoming a big thing for
Oh,
teenagers.
uh-huh.
And man,
I
there was
remember that.
so many in the school. Like, you'd go in the bathroom and there's like, no joke, like 5 people just in there to use their e-cigs. And even like in the very back of the classroom, you'd have people use the e-cigs in there. And what I think it was some kind of, I can't remember what the class was, but it was this uptight teacher, and I sat in the back with this one dude, and he was just like, hey, you want me to teach you all about e-cigarettes and what makes them work? And so he spent 30 minutes just explaining this to me, and I processed it all. He was like,
You're
yeah,
like,
and
this
you
is
have
why I
all these
came to school.
flavors. Yeah, I learned something that day. I
That's
definitely
good.
learned. I have one
I
more China
mhm.
story when you're ready for
Sure.
it.
Yeah, actually, wait. I just back. Sorry. But speaking of drugs, real quick. I remember though, like in my school, we had e-cigs too, but there was one day where I was in a wood shop class where they teach us how to like cut wood and like it's like home appliances in terms of like the class. We learned how to deal with concrete and like welding and everything. It was a cool class, but it was an open air class. Like it was like a big like warehouse looking place, and there was one dude who had weed with him and he smoked it inside the classroom, but it was big enough to the point where you could like hide from the teacher behind certain walls in order to do it. So he was smoking it, and then like the smell like radiated around the entire place. And there's an upstairs part to it, and then I saw the dude in the corner just smoking, and I heard from the teacher like from the top floors is I want to say maybe like across the entire warehouse. He was like, "Who's smoking pot in my classroom?" And then the guy's like, "Fuck," and just like ran out the door and just threw it in the dumpster. And then he got mad at everybody, and it was a riot. Just like it's one thing to smoke weed like on campus, but why would you do it in the classroom with the teacher in the room? It's just I don't get that guy's logic, but he still got away with it. But it was a mess.
He got away with it, but I mean,
Yeah.
the thing with weed, like, at least with e-cigs, sure, they can have a scent, but it's not a scent that
Hmm.
lingers for long, and it's not a scent that is gonna stay attached to you for long.
Hmm. Yeah,
Weed,
e-cig you can. Yeah, e-cig you can just like wipe it away, like fan it away, no problem.
yep.
Weed it just sticks to your clothes and will stay there till you die. Like it will just not leave.
Yeah,
Like
so, like, with weed, like, that just doesn't seem like a good strategy. Sure, you're gonna get high, but at the same time, how is your high self gonna hide that shit, man?
the funniest part of the story is that guy was so high he was trying to sneak around the corner, but what he would do is he would like shimmy against the wall. But the oh crap, sorry, my bad. I just had a phone alarm that reminds me to like get some food later. Anyways, like the guy he would sneak along the wall where he would shimmy against it, but the walls in the classroom is set up. They're set up like little boxes, like they're little cutoff points. So he would go around every single wall like a caterpillar snake, just shimmying against it because he was so paranoid while he was high, and everyone could see him doing it. And then he just had the weed in his back pocket, and he did that for like 3, 4 walls in a row until he got out, instead of just walking straight to the door. And then yeah, just like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing, like, if you're gonna do drugs in school, don't do enough that it's obvious.
Exactly. Do it
Like,
at home, kids. God.
yeah, do drugs at home, clearly. Your parents are gonna love it. Bring
Yeah.
them in on it.
Yeah, exactly. Give them some,
I mean, if you give them some weed, maybe they'll chill out before they yell at you.
Yeah, it's like as long as you're doing it in the house, I guess it's fine.
That's the strategy.
There you go. So what's the next
So,
China story?
technology in Chinese bathroom aims to stop people from stealing toilet paper. Officials are using the technology in popular tourist areas to help keep bathrooms clean. So not only do we have smart uniforms for the school people, we also have surveillance and other technology inside the bathrooms to stop
Oh
tourists
god.
from stealing toilet paper.
How did they stop that? How does that work?
I don't know. I guess they watch, they see who tries to
They,
steal it, and they handle it.
what, like they just like stand outside the bathroom doors, like, sir, can you spread them for a pat down real quick? It's like, okay, all right, you're safe to go. Get out. Or like
Man,
there's like, "Sir, what's that big round bulge on the side of your shirt? Oh, it's a prosthetic. Let me see that. And then toilet paper. Got him. Arrest him. Like that or
China's weird. Like, I read these
mm,
2 China stories for the week, and it's just like, man, when it comes to
life sucks.
a country that uses its technology, man, they definitely want to control.
I'm surprised they don't put advertisements in the bathroom too. Just
I mean, don't they?
I don't know, at least not in my American bathroom in California. I don't see those. Oh, the only advertisements I see are like, I don't know, like Lock Dog scratching his name to the mirror, letting me know he owns the bathroom. But that's it. That's all I see. But I don't know how you keep track of like the toilet paper. Like I don't know if there's a guard outside or if there's like a little machine that dispenses the toilet paper, only gives it like one at a time. And if you really want to steal it, you have to wait 5 seconds between each toilet paper like swipe. And then if you sit there the whole day, eventually you could steal it, but it's just not worth it. It's like bolted into the ground or something.
At that point, I just hope they have a bidet there, because if you only get one at a time, that's going to take a while.
Or it's like if you want toilet paper, you can skip the ad in 5 seconds and we'll let you get one.
What?
Buy bathroom red today and you'll never have to wait with delayed. God.
You have a guard outside that make sure you don't have any ad block on you when you go inside the bathroom.
Oh no.
What would the equivalent of ad block be in real life?
I don't know. You'd have a hammer to smash everything. Yeah, I'm gonna skip it. Boom, and then just like they break open the whole thing, get like a screwdriver and break open the toilet paper container that's like steel bolted and just take all of it. Like, take this, government, haha, and then just run home.
Man, we thought of it all. We could outsmart China now. If we ever visit China, we got this.
Yeah, if we go to war with China, we know what to do about toilet paper, man. There you go. Come at us. We'll take all your toilet paper.
How do you think that would go?
I don't know, like a big toilet paper war, like a kids next door kind of thing, or I don't know.
We'll TP all their houses.
Exactly, especially wherever like this is gonna sound ignorant, whatever the equivalent of their White House is over there. We'll just TP the whole thing, and then we'll say we stole it from their bathrooms. I'm just like, yeah, that'll show them.
Do they have an equivalent to the White House in
I
China?
Okay, good. I don't feel as dumb not knowing either. So
Yeah, I have no
I don't
idea.
know. Yeah, I figured there would be, but I don't know. I know that there's a president there, but I don't know. Maybe he lives in a normal house. Is just rich.
So from China to Danish, a Danish startup invented underwear that you can wear for weeks without washing. The
Some people would
technology
argue you can do that
used
already.
True. The technology used to make the underwear involves using a seamless knitting technique, making the garments comfortable to wear for long periods of time. Apparently, one of the biggest things with this underwear is silver.
It was what?
Silver. So apparently,
Silver, like
yeah.
like magnetic silver. Why? No, no, that's not comfortable. Why would you want that down there? Why? Like, oh my god, no. Like, yeah, you can wear that for weeks, no problem, but I'm not gonna oh.
Just
I
hope
guess
you
they
don't
went for
bump into
like
something.
efficiency. It is efficiency over cover, I guess. I mean, at least you have like armor. So like, let's say you're playing soccer, you get kicked in the balls. It just hears like a loud dinging noise, like a gong, and you're safe.
That
Oh
would be
man.
funny.
Actually, I have an allergy to certain like metal alloys, so I can't even wear like belts, like belt buckles at all, or proper watches. And I get like a rash. So if I had that underwear, I would die.
Oh man.
No, God, that sounds horrible. Are people buying that? Like, is it selling well?
I don't think it's really sold too well, but it's an idea that these Danish people are trying to make big.
Mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Stick to making pastries. Don't do that.
So I think the broader question with this subject is there a market for underwear that you can wear longer than a day?
Oh god, like there's some like rich like idiot out there who's like, I will buy the best underwear in the world that could last me 3 years equivalent. What's this? They made it out of silver. I'll take 100.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming it's just that guy. I mean, good, more power to him, but Jesus Christ.
If
Like,
you buy
no, it has
100 of the silver underwear, does it turn into gold underwear?
or can you just like upgrade to like a gold one or a platinum or something? Or
Would you prefer
like, can
gold
you?
underwear?
I wonder. I'd rather just go fucking without underwear at this point if that's my only choice. Sounds horrible. Wait, does it move? Like, does it shift like left and right with the leg, or
I
is
mean,
it
the
stuck in place?
pictures I seen of the underwear, it didn't look like it was metal. It just looked like it was
Like
the what?
shiny?
No, it looked like cloth. It just may have some silver in it, like not super solid silver, but like traces of it.
Oh, like weaved into it?
Yeah, I think that's more the case here, but
That's still weird, but
it
okay.
is. And your allergies would still probably not appreciate it.
Dude, imagine you're at the airport and like, sir, what's that in your pants? Let me explain. Hold up. This is like, why is it everywhere? Why is it around your crotch area? I'm like, look, I just came from Denmark, right? Let me explain.
Man, TSA would not appreciate that strip search.
Oh God, no. Like, and then he's like, sir, take off your underwear right now. It's like, hold on. It's gonna take a little while. I need to loosen the belts real quick and then the metal latch and it's a chastity belt at that point.
Man,
No, I'm good.
I just
Good.
realized I brought
Hmm.
a lot of foreign odd things this week, especially with that first three. Like, man,
That, that's awesome.
this
Trying to think of
one's
some.
more messed up, and it doesn't
Ooh,
have to do with another country, but
lay it on me.
a woman was arrested for putting her ex's naked photos on the fence outside of his kid's school. According to court
Mm.
documents, the pictures were of a person standing nude, where a person would be able to know who was in the picture, which showed genitalia. The pictures were taped to the inside of the fence so anyone inside the fence, meaning children and
Oh.
school employees, would be able to see them. One of the photos was posted on the fence line at a park adjacent to the school. Two girls saw it and reported it. The school took it down and notified police as well as the parents of the students who saw it.
Oh my God. Wait. So this girl like got mad at her boyfriend, and then did the guy work at the school or
X.
something? Oh, ex. Sorry.
It,
Did the
it's
ex work at the school, or
no, it says kids' school.
it was just a random school? It's like, you know what, Tom? I know what I'm gonna do. Just the kids don't even know the guy. They're just like, I don't think that doesn't look like a stick figure. Oh no.
Because from what I gather, it was just like an elementary school, and apparently it was the ex's child. The ex had a child. I don't know if it was the woman's child, but apparently,
Oh
yeah.
no. They're like, who is that? I'm like, Dad. There's like one kid out there.
Oh no! Oh
No,
no!
no. It's like I thought you guys were wrestling. Oh my god. Like it's one thing to put it at a school, but she thought about this for a while, then or whoever did it to like put it on the inside of the fence, like not just leave it at the front, like a decent person just left it on the inside. It's like as soon as the kids get out, like at school, like all right, time to go home, yeah, what? And then they just see that at the gate. Like, was it like a whole album or just a couple photos?
From what I gather, it was just a couple photos.
Okay, as long as it wasn't like 100 different ones across the entire perimeter of the school. So like even if the teachers got a head start and heard about it, they couldn't take all of them down before a kid's at least seeing one or two dicks on the screen.
Many, many poses.
Oh my god. Yeah, just different ones, like upside down, like backside, Vogue, just just getting everything done.
What is the
Jeez.
punishment for this crime?
I don't know. Who do they punish? Like, they can't punish the guy or
The
whoever's,
woman.
like, yeah, oh, was it, did the woman put the guy's photos, right?
Yep.
The ex is the guy? Okay. So, they can't punish the ex himself because it's not his fault that it's there. I mean, they'll probably look at him badly, never invite him to school parties, whatever. But the the woman, I feel like, would be punished for sure because she put those photos there is kind of like a public disturbance, but it's not her body at the same time. So
If
I
you're the court of law, what is the punishment?
okay, in terms of court of law and morality, that's a very big line. It's like I know that some people can get away really stupid stuff is technically I didn't do that on this area at this time. I just happened to put those motions into place. And then that's where it gets very if I had like if it was ruled by morality, I would just punish the woman who posted it because I think that's pretty messed up to do. But I think if it was a court of law, I think they would probably punish both of them, but to punish the guy more because it's his junk that's right there. It's gonna scar the kids for life and everything. So I think the fact that just he's identified in it, then I think they would probably punish him. But
But at the
I,
same time, he is an adult, and
mhm.
legally speaking, adults can take these photos. So,
Exactly. Yeah, if you want to, you're welcome to. It's kind of frowned upon and like really risky, but it's not like just I don't know. It's a tricky situation. I mean, I hope the woman's the one that got punished and not the dude in this case, but
she was
God, like,
arrested.
oh yay! But how do you explain so why did you put pictures of your boyfriend's dick at like St. John's Elementary School? It's like well he cheated on me, Karen. I know I don't have proof, but I know he liked 10 pictures in a row. I saw it. I have screenshots of those officers. Like no, it's fine, it's fine. Just God, they're just in the interrogation room with her for like a couple hours trying to justify that. Like the kids are innocent bystanders too. Like I know like some people are like, "Oh, I sent my ex's nudes to her whole family." Ha ha ha. Ha." I'm like, "That's messed up," but I get the target audience makes sense if it's her family. But these are just little kids who did nothing. They're just like eating sandwiches and giving wedgies, and then they just walk out and see that.
Bobby, what's that?
What's that? Why does he have an extra finger down there?
What is that under it?
Like, Mom, why does it look like Dad's hidden folder of the computer? What? Nothing.
Man.
Actually, this is a weird place. Like, speaking of caught nudes in schools, in my in my high school, there was a teacher who actually got fired for this exact reason because it really wasn't his fault much. But like, okay, the first one was his fault because okay, he's gay and whatever. He's a great teacher. He's a cool dude to talk to, but he uses his school computer like he just brings his laptop to the school to do presentations whatever, but the problem is he had trouble mixing his personal life on the computer and keeping it hidden versus school stuff. So he would teach physics, and his first incident was he thought the projector was off and he was browsing stuff on his computer while the students were working on a worksheet, and there was
Oh
like a
boy.
big black cock just on the projector in front of a class of 30 kids. And for 15 minutes, everybody was too terrified to say something until one kid just snapped. It's like, professor or teacher, like, could you please take down the image on the screen? He's like, what do you? Oh my god! And turned it off. And then of course that spread around the school. And then the official was like, what were you thinking? And he apologized, like, my bad. I didn't mean for it to be there. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scar them for it. It just it's my own personal issues. I'm sorry about that. And the teachers and the principal were cool. That everyone's like, okay, just don't let it happen again, man. Jesus Christ. You're lucky it only got contained to that class, but God, like as long as this didn't hit the news or anything, we're fine. You can keep your job, whatever. A year later, some student found his Twitter profile. In his Twitter profile, he treated it like an open Tinder profile, where he's like, "Any hot men in the area? Here I come!" Whoosh. And he had pictures of like selfies of himself in like leather underwear, not silver, leather underwear. And then it had his face in it too, which is a rookie mistake if you're gonna take those photos, by the way.
Yep.
And a student found those tweets, and they sent it to the school, and then the school's like, "Oh, shit," and then, of course, the kid's, like, freaking out and sent it to his friends, and they've spread among the friends, and someone sent it to the local news station, and it went downhill from there. Because then, of course, the school's like, "Dude, you're fired because we can't defend you anymore. Because if any parent," and parents did see this, "if parents see this, they're gonna like, 'That dude's teaching my son. I'm out. I'm going to China.'" And then so they had to let him go. He was totally fired. But the worst part of this story was that, you know how, like, on the news if something bad happens, like a local person kills a puppy, they would usually blur out the guy's face, right? Like, they'd usually blur it out so you don't see them, it's privacy kept. What they did is they put that teacher's entire full name on the local news, put his picture, like, not even like the school picture where he's like on picture day, like, "Yeah, I'm a good teacher," like, they're just him in a shirt. They put the leather underwear picture with his face showing on our local news station in
Oh
LA.
man.
And then I'm just like, "No."
You
Because,
have
like,
to
he's a
move away
cool
after that.
I know. I mean, like, he's a cool dude, but, like, I get he messed up, but at least let him have some dignity going out. Like, oh my god. Like, he can't get a job anymore as a teacher because 'cause they're like, "Aren't you the dude who had his dick on the news?" And he's like, and just walks out. Like, man, it just sucked. The thing is, I had him as a teacher, like, 2 semesters before he got found out like this, and then I just felt I was panicking. I didn't know how to handle it. I'm like, "Oh my," dude shook my hand. I washed my hand like 20 times that day. But I just, oh man, I feel bad for him because, like, of course it's not his fault. He's like that. Of course, he's gay, whatever, do whatever you want. But it sucks that he got caught putting it online and it affected his work. It's just, oh man, the news is just merciless. And then follow up story. A whole year later, I started going to my new university, and this university is nearby the high school I went to, and most people from my high school go to that university. And I actually saw him at the school printing room,
Oh
and
boy.
then I think he went back to school to get a new major and a new job, presumably. And the thing is, he walked past me, and he knew me, like, back when I was a student because I was a really good student. And we had a good talk a couple times. He was a cool dude, and he looked at me, and we both had the same thought. It's like, I know him. I want to say hi because I know we're good. We're both cool people. But that topic of, like, "So why'd you leave the high school?" would come up. So we just both looked away at the same time, and he walked out of the printing room because he was done. I'm like, "Yep, that was a good call." So,
Very good call.
mhm, mhm, I
I
haven't
feel
seen him
like
since.
if that was me and I was in that scenario, I would have to move across the country and hope that nobody there knew about it.
That's pretty fair, yeah.
I would not want to see anyone I've ever known from that place ever again. I just want a fresh start.
I would get a wig, maybe facial reconstructive surgery, like, a little bit just to make the nose a bit different, and then good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, like, it's like, I feel bad for him, but damn, like, the news shouldn't have pulled it like that. They should have been like, "Local teacher in this general area got caught putting these online. We're not gonna give you his name because 'cause we're not monsters, but there you go," and then move on. Back to Kelly with sports. Like, I
Back
don't
to
know.
Kelly with sports. I never had a teacher inappropriate picture situation that I was aware of. And
Mhm,
even with like students, I don't really remember that being a thing, at least not in any circle I was in. I mean, I'm sure it
mhm.
happened, but I wasn't in the right circle, I guess. The only thing, even in that category, that happened in my high school years was, so of course, it's high school, you're gonna have a ton of fights, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So you had these two girls, it was science class, and one of them was just wearing a skirt and was not in the appropriate fighting clothes.
Oh, boy.
So you can imagine they start fighting, they go to the ground, and what do you
And
know? What
someone
you think happened would happen, and her underwear decision was also not the ideal for this fight with the
It
skirt.
wasn't silver, was it?
No,
There was no silver at all? Like,
nope, it was.
Yep. Commando?
No, right there though. So
Oh, okay.
it was just not the ideal situation.
Just a post-it note, or
And I didn't really know her well at the time. I knew the person she was
I know
fighting
now.
with. But, I mean, a
Uh-huh.
couple years later, in the same class with the dude that taught me about the e-cig,
Uh-huh.
that same class, that same seating arrangement,
Mhm.
it was 30 of us. We were all in that class, and we all remembered that moment. And for whatever reason, the conversation just got brought up, and man,
And then he schooled
she
me in
now
skirts
knows
for
if
30
she has
minutes.
any plans of getting in a fight, you pick the right fighting attire.
Wait, was she wearing something underneath, or
Yes.
nah? Okay, but it was just like someone would go to jail for looking at that nowadays for sure. Like
How? Let me think. What
depends
grade
what state
was
you're
it?
in.
What grade was it?
Oh god.
Probably.
If you say grade, it's already illegal. If you have to say
No, it's
grade.
not. You can be a senior. You can be a senior or junior, and as long as you're old enough.
Yeah, if you hit 18 in senior, I
I don't
guess
know how
it's
old she
fine.
was. Yeah, I don't know how old she was at the time. But
Jesus Christ.
when it came to school fights, were you ever in any school fights?
Me, the closest I've been to a fight was I slugged one dude in the face, but then we became best friends after. Actually, this is a different story, but so like we had one friend, we had a mutual friend, and we were cool. So it was the first time this dude brought me and my other friend together. We'll call this the new guy Dylan. We'll call the other one Sam. So Sam was our mutual friend, and then there was Dylan, and Dylan was at his locker one day, and I noticed Dylan never really laughed at anything, so I was trying to get him to laugh. And so I noticed when he's with Sam, he makes like shoves him gently, haha, like, oh, watch where you're going, da 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 da, like normal guy bullshit, whatever. And then I saw Dylan at his locker, so I thought it'd be funny if I just like gently pushed his bag and made his head go inside his locker just a little bit. But then he didn't respond well. So what he did is he turned around, he pushed me, and I lost my balance, and my face lined up with the locker combination embedded into the locker. So like the entire like it was sticking out of the locker, so that's what hit me like right underneath my eye.
Critical hit.
And then yeah, critical hit. Like and then so I was so mad. I'm like, why in my mind, I'm like, why would you do that? Just a light gentle put like Assassin's Creed gentle push. I didn't like fucking shove you like Spartan kick into the grave. I didn't do that. And so I had my fist clenched up, and then I gave like one hook in the middle of the air, but then halfway through the swing, I'm like, I shouldn't do this. Like, while this is like slow mo in my head, my face is already about to connect with his face. I'm like, I shouldn't do this. This is really bad. I'm gonna be in trouble. I'll make the punch a bit lighter because I don't have time to back out the punch. And then boom, I made contact. It was kind of like enough strength for like a good slap, but my fist was closed. And then he's like, "What the hell was that?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I just did that. I'm going to hell." And I ran away. And then I ran like across the entire school and caught my breath. And then the next time we had class together, our buddy Sam, like he kind of brought us together, and then he's like, hey man, there was no worries. Why don't you just go apologize? Why don't you just say sorry? And he told my friend, the not friend yet, but the dude, I was like, Dylan, why don't you just apologize? Just forget about it. So I walked over to Dylan, I'm like, hey man, look, I'm sorry, I overreacted. I didn't know how to handle it. My bad. Is it
And then he
cool?
punched you in the throat.
Oh God, no, no, no. That could he could have, but that's not the way it went down. Like he's like, you know what? It's cool. My bad. I wasn't used to that type of like shoving humor. I didn't know what to do, so I panicked too. Like my bad. I was like, you know, it's all good. And then he's like, hey, you play in PS3? Oh yeah, I do. And then we talked for a bit, and then we became really cool. And then for the next 3 years, I went to his house every single Monday, and then we became good friends. So
But
yeah. So
hey,
whenever, yeah. So like are we never told either of our parents how we met until like several years later. And then that first time he's like, so so Dom, how do you and Dylan meet? It's like, oh, I clocked him in the face. And then they're like, what? And then they
you
look at Dylan,
did
he's like,
what?
and then they're like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And Dylan's like, it was more of a slap. Actually, I'm like, yeah, fuck you, man.
And then you
So
fought again in the backyard.
exactly. And so Dylan's not around anymore. Oh, I let that slip. Edit it out. Edit it out. But yeah, that's the closest I've been into a fight. I think the best fight I've witnessed well, in middle school, the most violent one I saw, there's 2 guys were fighting, but you know, like, that level of fighting when they're so into the moment, they just accidentally start moving, like, a couple of feet, like, over while they're fighting?
Yeah.
These guys were these there was, like, 3 dudes fighting, and they kept, like, slugging each other, one would stumble, and then they would catch up to the guy who's stumbling, and it went into the girls' bathroom during, like, middle school lunch, and it was, like, right in front of where my friends hang out, so we already had a front seat to the show, it was perfect. We had lunch, you know, ready to go, we're like, "Oh, there's a fight, and it's in the back. Are you gonna stay? Nah, let's they're, like, 2 feet big, let's just wait this out." I know, okay, cool, and so they were fighting, and girls like, "Ah!" like, running out of the bathroom and everything, like, "This is great." Like, I wish and then it's like, "I wish we had a camera look inside the girls' bathroom." It's like, "Don't can you say that a bit quieter, Tom? Thank you." And then because there are people gathering around. And then eventually the teachers had to come in, but the guy teachers arrived first, and they couldn't go inside the girls' bathroom without legal issues. So they're yelling like, "Hey, get out of there! Please, come on, get out of there now!" And then they're still like slugging and everything. And I could hear like a bunch of loud thuds and glass breaking. I'm like, "Ooh, it's Mortal Kombat up in there." Then finally, a female teacher got in and got them out of the bathroom, and they're a bit bloody and everything got stopped. But then it was like that girl's bathroom was closed for the rest of the year, and I have no idea what it's like in there. But I'm kind of curious of how much damage he did.
I
Hmm.
don't think I've ever seen a fight be ended by a teacher vocally.
No, I'm just like that's
It's
not
always
gonna
a
work,
physical
man.
tear apart.
Yeah, you're just throwing rocks at a tank. That's not gonna do crap. Like, you just gotta step in there. There's no point.
I've never been in a fight in high school, but
Mhm.
I don't know what it is about me in person, but
Mhm.
there's just that something about me apparently that just irks at certain dudes. They don't
Mm.
appreciate me. So I was threatened multiple times that they would fight
Mhm.
me, and I never backed down. They just never engaged. And
Oh,
my
I
rule of
always
thumb was
yeah.
I'm not throwing the first punch. I don't have the issue here. And if
Mhm.
you have the issue, throw the
There's
punch.
witnesses.
Yeah, I'd always have a friend nearby as well. Like,
Mhm.
I am 5'4", and at the time I was like 100 to 120 pounds. I'm not going
Mhm.
to win the fight, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to lose this fight terribly. So,
Yeah, and at least you're not gonna lose the legal fight for sure.
nope, nope, nope. I had that system wrapped down. And so it was
Nice.
always this situation of, okay, this dude wants to punch me for this reason, and do I think it's my fault? Not this time. This time, nah. This time, eh, maybe. I mean, I guess. I guess he had a point. But
Yeah. Uh,
and then the one time I hit somebody
mhm.
was it wasn't a conscious decision. It was just kind of a
A
I
happy
swung
accident.
before I realized what I was doing.
Uh-oh. You're
It
like,
was
"I'm just
senior
swatting
year.
flies."
It was senior year, and this dude, I forget what he was saying, but it was just the wrong day. I was not in the mood for it, and yeah, I just swung, and he was shocked. But this was a rich kid. Like, this was a rich
Mhm.
kid that thought he was above people.
Mhm.
So when I threw the punch and, you know.
Did he pull a Draco on my I was like, "My fault, I will hear about this," and ran away.
No, he sat down. He sat down and we never discussed it again. We never talked again. Last I
Mm.
checked, he was working at Walmart. So
Aw,
that
damn.
went well for him.
Nice.
And the
I'm
teacher
trying to
wasn't in the room, luckily, so only like three
oh,
people were in the room and they were all just like, oh, he threw a
that happened.
punch, but this isn't an actual fight, so whatever.
Nice. That's a good save. I'm trying to think, like, I would never in terms of people threatening me, like, I was always very quiet in high school, so
Same.
I guess people just wanted to, like, I don't know, get my attention in some way or, like, get me to talk or something. Because I guess maybe being silent freaked them out in a way, I don't know. So people would do, like, that thing where they try to flinch at you to make you flinch, like, they would try to lunge at you, and then if you flinched, then they'd be like, "Oh, we got him," or something like that, and then or they would, like anything I would do, like, just normally, they would try to make my day take longer, like, if I just tied my shoes, they might go to my shoe and unpull it, or if I always do this thing in my locker where I would always, like, lock the the lock with like one number away from it. So if I come back to my locker, I just move it to one and get my stuff in a hurry. One dude would try to like untangle the lock like 10 times in a row, me coming back and forth just after him. And then it would just there's a lot of annoyances like that. Were cutting me in the middle of the line. And then that dude who like would change my locker combo, I would get back up. I wouldn't actually fight them or make it obvious I did something to them. I would try to get back at them in some weird hidden way where they didn't know, but it would just piss them off. So I saw that dude in the locker, like from my lockers, like in the lunch line. And our lunch line was very disorganized. So we had to be like a big angry mob in a way until it smoothed out into one normal line. I was chewing gum that day, and then I noticed he got a new bag. So I noticed he put like a special decal on one of his zippers. So I put gum in between the two zippers, and then like it just stuck them both together. And then I just like went back into the crowd, like further back. Oh, you can go in front of me. Yeah, you can go in front of me. It's all good. Like 5, 10 people away, and I wanted to see him reach for his bag to get his ID to get lunch. And he reached for it. He's like, "Oh, what the hell?" I'm grossed out. I'm just like, "Justice." I'm just like in the corner. And then he's like, "Who did that? Who did that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know. I'm just getting like Lay's, man. I didn't do it. I just want some chips." And I just kept walking. And it was the best. So a lot of stuff like that.
That
Mhm.
brings to my mind a school food story that I experienced in middle school.
Mhm.
I don't really know the why this happened to me or what I did to enable this to happen to me. But when I was in
Mhm.
middle school, we'll say probably 7th grade, maybe 8th, probably 8th, right at the end of middle school, probably that last year.
Mhm.
So everyone has their lockers and stuff. I never locked my locker because, frankly, I rarely use my locker, and when I did, it was just to store crap in it, a lot of papers that had been used or whatever. So I really wasn't one to be
Mhm.
active in my locker.
Mhm.
And then one day I get called to the office, and apparently someone had put in a potato in my locker, and it had rotten and smelled terribly. And so I had this conversation with the office people, and of
Why
course,
did you
if you
put a
say
potato? Why'd you
if
do it,
you
Wes? Why'd you put a potato?
yeah, if you say you didn't do it and you have no idea what they're talking about, like, they're not gonna believe you at first, but it's like, okay. I can't give you any information on why or how or anything, why the potato's in my locker. I mean, you can check the
Mhm.
camera, I guess. I have no idea when it could have happened. I don't check my locker regularly, but,
Mhm.
you know, I
Exactly.
didn't get
It's
in
like
trouble for it.
yeah, I don't think you should because like it says like why'd you purposely like make your own locker smell like ass? Why'd you do it? It's like, well, one day I thought it'll be hilarious if my locker was destroyed, so let me put this potato inside and let it rot until it dies and then just freak out anybody who's nearby. There you go. That'll show them. And then they're like, aha, we caught him. Like, that's not gonna happen. That's so
And
dumb.
I look back on it now and it's just like, I still don't know who or why or if it was even a purposeful thing. Like, if
I don't
someone
think you were
had
targeted.
anything, yeah, I don't think if someone had something to gain from doing it to me, I feel like I would at least know.
Yeah, like if they were targeting you, wouldn't they at least make some way you could notice it? Like why would they do it? Like Wes never uses his locker. I have an idea to get him back for saying no to letting me borrow his special pen back in second grade. Ooh, it's
Oh
gonna be
boy.
good. Is that a potato? Oh, let me borrow that real quick. Perfect, perfect. And he'll feel this in a couple months. We'll see. Ha 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 ha. I only just run away. Like that,
Oh,
that's
and the other case I had is I never ate school lunch.
mhm.
I ate school lunch up until 7th grade.
Word. Most of it was gross. I only got like there's only two things I liked. They had like actual Lay's chips and then like a sandwich. I'd maybe eat like half the sandwich, slice it up, and then get the chips and give the rest to another friend who was more hungry than me.
Yeah, I generally went the whole school day without eating anything, which didn't
Hmm.
bother me at the time. It wasn't like, "Oh, I'm hungry all day." I didn't really even acknowledge it.
Yep.
And So it's like, okay, I don't even get school lunch. So where did I get this school potato from? So,
Wait, did the potato not even come from your school? Like it wasn't like they don't
I,
serve that?
no, they served it, and from
Oh,
what I
okay.
gather, yeah, it
I
had
thought
the
some kid
aluminum on it and all that fun. So someone had to have put it in there from, I guess,
gotcha.
a school lunch.
Oh, I thought like some kid literally like went to the store to get a potato and got home and then just brought it to school and then put it in your locker. That was his.
Malicious.
They made like a whole day out of it.
That would be
That's a murder
hilarious.
right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did you hear about the high school controversy over the wrestling dude that had to have his hair cut in order to do the match?
What? How long was his hair?
I
And I
From
haven't
the
heard about it. But
pictures
I'm just
I
wondering.
seen, it wasn't like even to the very bottom of the neck. Like it could have been covered, and it
Like it
was
wasn't
just
even like a Thor thing. It was just like sort of long.
like it was afroed or not afroed. It was dreadlocks, and
Hmm.
so
What? That's so dumb. Like
and
they
the
wear helmets in wrestling, so
and of
who cares?
course, it being 2018, I guess you have to give specifics. It was a black student and a white referee that caused this situation. And
Hey, hey, boy, I cut your hair. Yeah, that'll show him. Ha, ha. Like, that's what? Like, so
and it
is
was
his hair was
either
short
he had to cut his hair or
or
forfeit the
forfeit?
match.
So
And
stupid.
the student did make the decision on his own that he was gonna go through with the match. He's trained for this and all that, so of course he's gonna go through with it. And at first, the person that cut his hair got a lot of heat from the video and photos, but
Hmm.
she was just doing what she was told. She really had no say in the decision. She was the coach. She was just trying to help him.
Hmm.
But
That's
the
so
white referee, on the other hand, he has since been relieved of his referee duties.
just for making a kid get a haircut. Jeez, that's so dumb. Like I don't get how that's a foul or anything, or I don't know what he's getting out of that. Like just a haircut or just long
I'll
enough. I mean,
show him.
yeah, I got this. I know what to do. This will ruin his day forever. Haha. Take that, Black Lives Matter. Haha.
Haha. Would have been
That's
funny if he wrestled the referee.
oh yeah, for sure. And then the kid will get in trouble. It just sucks. I think I'm trying to remember. Actually, I remember back in middle school, I had much longer hair. Like it hit like the middle of my shoulders, like almost hit my shoulders. Is like I want to say like Thor long, like in the early movie. And it was the first time I was allowed to grow my hair because I always had like a military cut during elementary school. My parents were like, you gotta look spiffy and professional at like 8 years old, so please. And then I'm just like, okay. But then I really want to try long hair, so I did, and I thought it was cool. And but my family, they're very traditional. Like girls are only allowed to have long hair. Guys can't have long hair. That's oh no, that's against our ways. That's against the Bible. Blah, 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 blah. And then I had a really mean uncle who would always talk crap to anyone, and also he was really bad with English. So a lot of his stuff came out direct and rude at the same time. So he would, I think this is the first time I heard my dad like really get defensive, like to protect me in like a social situation. He looked at my dad and so it's like, when's your son gonna cut his hair? He looks homeless. And then my dad said in front of me, he's like, when's your wife gonna shave her mustache? She looks like your husband. And then he's like, "Oh, and then the thing is that dude's an in-law, and they're inside like my dad's like part of the house, so all the relatives are mostly his by blood. So if he talks shit, then the whole family's gonna turn against him. So he didn't know what to do and just ran to the kitchen. And
Checkmate.
then they checkmate, and then I gave my dad high fives, like, "Hey, hey Dom, want to go home and get some pizza?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" So
See,
that was
my
fun.
father's side was very traditional, and like when I was in school, I I've
Hmm.
never been one to be like, okay, let me wear these generic ass jeans, let me wear this fancy shirt, let me look presentable, let me look like I'm gonna go get a job. No, I always
Mm-hmm.
wear sweatpants to school, jogging pants to school. I wore t-shirts, I had a jacket on most days, because classrooms were cold. Like, most
Mhm.
classrooms, no matter the season, they were cold.
Yep, yep.
So I always had sweatpants, I had a jacket, and I had a t-shirt. And senior year, I had sandals. I was as
Mhm.
comfortable as possible. And that was just how I always was. I still value comfortability over what
Style.
people think looks good.
Yeah,
That
I
was
agree with
always
that.
me, and that's just,
That
nobody
makes
else
sense.
did that where I was from. Nobody else had that distinct stubbornnness to go
But everyone else
comfortability
is
over
like
everything
"I
else.
gotta wear these triple Uggs in 100-degree weather." Yeah, like that kinda thing, or was everybody like that at your school?
Nah, but it was just, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just don't like jeans, but jeans are just
Mm.
not comfortable to me.
What do you usually wear, like shorts?
I wore sweatpants or jogging pants or something that
Mm.
wasn't jeans,
Oh, so you dress like a college student.
I guess.
Yeah, nice. I respect that.
It's, you know, that
Yeah,
was
like,
just
I
me
can't
in
wear
school.
shorts. Yeah, I normally
I was
actually, I'm
never a
pretty okay
shorts
with shorts.
person, not until I graduated high school.
You wanna know the reason why I stopped wearing shorts is actually kind of, like, a little bit embarrassing, but, my the way my legs are, I have a hard time growing leg hair. Is like, my mom says genetics, 'cause she can't grow much leg hair on her legs, but somehow that got passed on to me. Is like, "Yay, the most masculine trait ever, woohoo." And so I have trouble growing hair on my legs. Whenever I'm in PE in high school, girls would always ask me, it's like, "Oh my god, do you shave your legs?" And I would say, "Here we go again. Look, no, it's a genetics thing. I can't grow." And I have to explain to them like, "Oh wow, you're so lucky. I wish I was like that." I'm like, "Okay, cool." But every time I looked at a pair of shorts, it's like my mom's like, "Hey, you want to buy these shorts? I think these look good." And I look at them like, some girl's gonna ask me if I shave my legs, and I don't want to deal with that again for like the 100th time in a row. So I just stopped wearing shorts
I
forever.
know this tip doesn't help you at this point of life, but I feel like if it was me, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, girl, you want some shaving tips?"
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you
Wanna
just
know
gotta
what it's
break it
like?
off like that.
Oh, yeah. I said, "You want that smooth feeling down under?" It's like
I'll
fucking
give
a
you all those
dolphin.
tips.
Uh, yeah, like, it was weird.
A new rule going into effect January 1st, 2019 will require hospitals to post a list of their standard prices online and make electronic medical records more readily available to patients. The new rule, called the Inpatient Prospective Payment System Rule, is part of a Medicare program aimed at price and transparency in the healthcare system.
Okay, so they basically turn hospitals into Amazon? Like
Well, not quite, because it isn't like, oh, this is the price and this is the final price. You still gotta count insurance and what they'll pay for and all that jazz. This just gives you more of a doctor can't lie and overprice something way too high, or one
Yeah,
place can't overprice compared to another and be as
I guess
sneaky
that's
about it.
good. I guess that's good, but it'll, like, show that some people are more cheap, because I know, like, a lot of people, they go to a hospital because to, or they really think they need to, and they get, like, a checkup, whatever, and it's like, "How much is that?" Like, $100, what the hell? Like, "I wish I just stayed home." And then now they're gonna see it online, like, "I have a stomach ache, let me check." And then they check online, like, $100 checkups, like, "You know what? I think I'll just die," and they'll stay home. They'll just not do it. So I guess that's cool in a way, but a little bit double-edged sword for society in some way, but, overall, I'm cool with that, I guess.
I feel like this is one of those topics where you just have to see how it goes a month or two from
Yeah.
now.
It's not super clear if it's, like, 100% benefit or, like, 100% bad, but I guess you just have to wait it out and see how people react to it in a way, because maybe this could cause the hospitals to lose business, and it would make prices go even more because 'cause they're losing business, or I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe people will try to get sneaky about it. It's like, "But I only asked for a checkup on my leg, not my full body, so I should get the price of $20 as guaranteed on your price online, right?" And they'll just be bargaining with the doctor or whatever, so, uh,
Was your state one of the 20 states that are raising the minimum wage?
California, I don't know. I think so. There's too much crap happening here to keep track, really.
Oh, hey, you live in California. That means they're gonna start charging you for your tax, right?
Oh, yay.
You remember that
Uh-huh.
that report for like a week before that got thrown down?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just what y'all want. Y'all need your taxes with your tax.
Okay. Well, I guess that's whatever. Tax. There's too many tax issues going around. Gas prices suck. Being around the LA area and everything, so I'm just living with it and trying to ignore it.
You know what's sad?
Hmm.
I can guarantee there's multiple non-cost ways to
Ways.
have
Mhm.
vehicles go around, but because
Mhm.
that's not the profitable solution, we have what we
Yeah.
have now.
Exactly. It's money driven. Like whatever. Like if the only way like the government or the whole entire world would care about like truly care about like being green, it's like, do you know being vegan you can actually earn $200 out of thin air just for going vegan? And they're like, oh my god, everybody go vegan. Woo! And then everyone would give a crap. Or like if you plant a tree, it'll provide Wi-Fi across the world. What? And then they'll do it.
The
Just
two
it's all
states
profit.
that matter to me, Tennessee and Alabama, yes, I live in the
Hmm.
Bible Belt. Neither of them were part of
Yeah.
the 20 states that are raising minimum wage. So, yay, we're still
Nice.
behind in the times.
Just I don't know. Like minimum wage, it's a dodgy subject. There's like positives and negatives to both. Raising it super high or keeping it super low, and then there's no right answer with it, really, in my opinion.
So, what you're saying is there's no
Mm.
right answer. So, it's not wrong for me to be like, okay, minimum wage should be $10,000 an hour.
It's not technically wrong, because at least okay, in the positive side, it'll help you out starting out with college and everything, like assuming it like at the whatever if it's a young age that most people get these kind of jobs and everything, you'll be set to go and you'll be financially well off starting up into maybe like a different profession that could earn more. And this is just a really, really, really good stepping stone for you, which is awesome. But in the negative side, this will fuck up everybody's taxes for sure. Let's see, like the people running the business will have to pay so much just to keep your minimum wage like afloat legally
A
and
lot of people are
everything.
getting fired.
Yeah, and then like jobs, I think there's gonna be like some people will be like desperate for jobs for sure. There's that many that will make that much money, and then some people might even make a profession out of like they might just get like like 3 or 4 or 5 like small jobs like that instead of going to school. And then they were like, "Oh, I'm earning 50 grand across my job at Pizza Hut, McDonald's, and Starbucks. Whoa, I don't need to go to college." Psh. And then the education loses business for sure. And then the US education is already crap in terms of funding anyway, so that's gonna go even more downhill because people were like, "You know what? Who needs to be a civil engineer when I can go to Costco?" And then they're just fine. And then it's just ugh, good and bad. Good and bad for sure. So,
So, very quickly, when it comes to Disney Plus, are you aware of Disney Plus and that whole situation?
Disney Plus isn't that like the new streaming service?
Yes.
Is that Yeah, yeah, yeah. They canceled Daredevil, those bastards. Well, I think or
Daredevil,
Netflix did it
Iron
themselves?
Fist,
Yeah.
etc. As a
Oh,
consumer, the question
Jessica
I've
Jones is
asked,
getting canceled too.
yeah, as a consumer, I've asked every single guest this question.
Mm.
Will you be getting Disney Plus? And does it matter what they do? What could they do to make you get Disney Plus, or is it just a straight no for you?
At the moment, it's a straight no based on what I already have access to, both through Netflix or any other sites through Bay or something like that, or anything I might be viewing illegally or not. I'm not saying I am, but maybe just saying there's options out there for the entire world. Honestly, downloading free music or movies online is kind of like the jaywalking of the internet. Like there's so many people doing it that it's kind of hard to keep track of who's who. So,
Just make
and
sure the water's nice.
yeah, exactly. But in terms of Disney Plus, I think I would get it if they brought back the shows I really cared about, like Daredevil, like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all continue, and Iron Fist continue on there, and they get the Netflix writers, like the original team production crew behind it, to work through Disney. Then sure, because I won't watch a Daredevil season 4 if it's like being directed by Mickey Mouse, and then Daredevil's talking about friendship and stuff the whole time, and then he's helping save a kitten from a tree with his batons. And then he sees Wilson Fisk like, you know what? Why don't we go out for some ice cream? Yeah. And then they become best friends. And I'm for sure not getting it. If they
Jessica
Disney-fy it.
Jones just becomes this super friendly, super.
She becomes a Disney princess. She gets a gown and around New York City. And then she's like singing to rats and stuff like Ella Enchanted. And this is like, life. And a rat just helps her bake a cake and stuff. And and then all of a sudden she sees evil across the way and she just like waves her hand and some like blue dust of life and hope just fly out of her fingers and just stops the evil, and the evil just gets banished out. But we never see what happened to the bad guy, because you know what, they're bad and they're always bad, black and white. There is no redemption for them. So goodbye, Kilgrave. Like, have fun in hell where we can't see you. It's all good. Let's play a song and dance, and we're playing 1 and a 2 and a 3, and then they start singing, and then do a dance move. And then if that's the way Disney's gonna handle the shows and bring it back, then I'm out. But if they bring it back and keep it dark and gritty with the same production crew, I'll go back in, no problem. And then I'm not sure if they could sell me on a Loki solo show. I mean, good luck with that. I'll wait until the reviews and trailers come out, and maybe I'll watch I know usually they do like a first episode free on YouTube Red, watch Cobra Kai, and then by the way, that show is badass. But anyways, if they do like a first episode free for that and I get to watch it, I'll judge based on that. And then if it's somehow really, 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 really good, like Daredevil quality, then I might consider it.
I
Yeah.
feel like out of all the people I've asked, the
Hmm.
6 people I've asked now, maybe 7, I think 7.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, actually 8. The last episode counts still, so the 8 people I've asked before you, they've all
Mhm.
said no. You're the most optimistic about this. The second
Thank you.
closest was someone that said they'd consider it only if their wife and or child would want it.
If my wife and or child want, even if I had a wife and or even a girlfriend at this point, that's just self-loathing, and that's a whole other episode. Anyways, if they wanted it, I'll sure, like if they really, I'll buy it, whatever. I'm not gonna like sit down and watch it unless they ask me to, or I might watch it and just zone out and just maybe sleep, like with one eye switching open back and forth, like I was talking about earlier, tops. But yeah, I don't know if my parents would want that. My dad is very into nitty gritty stuff, and my mom is just like, I want to see Tinkerbell on IMAX, and then so it's kind of a balance between us.
So
So
what you're
yeah.
saying is the ideal movie/TV show to show your mom is Game of Thrones and your father
There you
is
go.
Frozen.
Exactly. You got me. You got me.
That's what I would show both of them to see how they react. Make a
Yep, and then I'll
video
put.
out of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then it was like, oh, what the hell? This is Daredevil season. Why is he singing? Why is Foggy in a dress? What's going on? Exactly.
But yeah, it's just it,
Yeah, I have a lot of conditions for the Disney Plus thing, and if they actually fill it, then bring it on. But if they don't, then I'm sorry, I'm good.
for me,
I'll wait for Black Mirror.
I feel the same way about Netflix as I do Steam, as I do other equivalent things. Like, I like my stuff in one area. I don't want 50 things to go to. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying Steam is perfect, but I don't want to go through Epic Games or G whatever or Uplay or this or that for games. I just want to use one thing, and for me, that's Steam right now. And it's the
Yeah.
same with Netflix. I don't want another cable situation. I just want Netflix. I want it to have everything I want. And maybe there's an alternative like Hulu, but I don't need an alternative like Hulu, Amazon Prime Video,
Mm-hmm.
Disney Plus, Warner Bros. Thing. What's the other one? I think CBS or an equivalent. NBC,
Like the
maybe.
CW Seed and the DC Universe app and stuff.
Man, DC is another topic for me. It's like DC movies, I'm not really impressed with the DC movies, but I
Did you
feel
like
like the
Aquaman?
DC TV shows on the CW channel are really good.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the shows, but like I like both of them to be honest. Like how to say this, the movies that's a whole other episode. But I'll try to wrap it up quick. The movies they're kind of like hit or miss a bit because like I can see why like someone would hate it, even though personally I enjoyed most of the DC movies. Like it was fun in a bunch of aspects for sure, and they did like a couple or most things right in my opinion. But I could see for a whole general audience, it doesn't work because I know one of the things that Marvel's very good at is they're good at introducing new fans and everything, and they explain everything and like they walk you through the whole thing, which is awesome. Well, DC they kind of leave it ambiguous. It's like, well, if you didn't read the comics, then you're not going to get this. So too bad in a way. And then I guess I'm just lucky to catch some of those references or get the tone they're going for, but some stuff I disagree with. I think it's mostly because of WB's part, because they're making weird decisions with some movies. Like they would restrict stuff. Like when during Justice League, the movie came out because when Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide in the middle of production, they didn't wait for Zack Snyder to come back. They just threw at the director from Avengers and told him to continue it, and he changed it, and their ideas clashed against each other, and they came out with what Justice League turned out being. But then I think they're learning from their mistakes because when they let James Wan do Aquaman, I realized they let him do a lot more things that he wanted to do, and it came out awesome. And right now, I think that's the best DC movie they have right now.
I haven't seen Aquaman yet. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been a big advocate for the past 5 years that Aquaman is superior to Batman in every way. So I really hope
Word.
the Aquaman movie's good.
Debatable, but yes.
It's
Yeah,
debatable, but
it's amazing. Like the visuals are perfect. Like everything looks. There's nothing I'm like that looks fake. I've never, even though I know it's meant to be fake. Like, there's not going to be a shark with a laser head in real life, but I
I
could
don't
say they
believe
put
you.
enough. Oh, I guess we'll have to. That's another discussion for another day.
Can you prove
But
this?
I don't know. Why don't you ask like those Russian, like I don't, those military practices they're trying to put like machine guns on dolphins or something. But anyways, it looked amazing. I've never seen orange and green pulled off so well besides Jason Momoa. And then all the fight scenes are it was like UFC underwater with like perfectly timed slow mo. Like the slow mo was so well balanced too, and then the visuals look especially there's so many more ocean scenes I thought there would be. It's gonna sound dumb, but I thought it was gonna be mostly be a lot of talking scenes, and the only high budget would go into just fight scenes, which I would have been fine with. But the ocean, like all the different creatures, there's so many. There's so many to even like really count or even keep track of mentally. They're just beautiful, and I loved it. Yeah,
I'm
I don't
really
want to
glad.
spoil.
I hope I really enjoy the movie too when I'm able to watch it.
I saw it 3 times now.
I
Hmm.
feel like my favorite DC movie at this point is one that I've seen get the most critiques. I really enjoyed Suicide Squad.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed that movie. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect and all the characters are
Oh yeah,
perfect, but
I had fun.
for a movie that, for me, movies are meant to entertain. It was a very
Yeah.
entertaining movie.
Right. Yeah, for Suicide Squad, I definitely had a lot of fun. If I only like, problems I had were like I think like the beginning part was the best, like the introduction phase. That was like the best part of the whole movie. The only parts that I were like I accept it, but I think it could have been done better. Were like the ending scenes with the final villain like felt a little bit rushed to me, but I still had fun through it. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like as long as you're entertained, then I'm worth the ticket. Like I remember when Sharknado first came out, like I know this movie was gonna be really, really dumb. But as long as I had fun, then I'm like, I'll gladly see it again.
It's one reason I haven't really watched Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. It's like,
Hmm.
for me, I like a
Those are
90-minute
long
movie.
movies.
I like a
Oh
90-minute
no.
movie.
You can't do that in Lord of the Rings. One does not simply watch
No.
that for the 90 minutes.
But I like Game of Thrones, but it's in a
Hmm.
shorter span. It's not, oh, you need to watch 9 hours and you can watch the extended editions, and that's like 58 hours.
Hmm.
That way you could
Game of
get
Thrones per
everything.
episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
With Game of
So that's
Thrones, it's a
fair.
lot easier to consume, and I really like that a lot better than the Lord of
Hmm.
the Rings or the Hobbit movies. But back to the DC subject. For me, when it comes to DC TV, I really like the Flash and the dude that plays Barry
Mhm.
Allen a lot better than the movie
Grant Gustin
person
is good.
and the movie effect. Like, I get that the lightning out when your run isn't a super unique
Mhm.
thing with the DC movie
Yeah.
version, but to
Yeah.
me, it just comes off as okay, when he does his run, why is he not setting everything around him on fire?
Yeah. Well, the Speed Force is meant to like this is gonna sound really nerdy. But the Speed Force is meant to like protect like Barry, have some sort of aura. So like sure he'll like static shock stuff walking past him, but it won't cause much fires per se. I mean, even in the TV show too, it's kind of like a protective barrier in a way, but like the Speed Force is just the lightning just radiates off him, like just showing his power. Like you know how if you watch like Dragon Ball Z and they when they power up, you see like all the aura around them. Like the aura doesn't actually hurt someone. It just like it's like a visual display of their power in a way, unless they channel it into a way
Wait,
where they, huh?
how do you know it doesn't hurt them? They're going, ah! For like
Nah,
5 minutes straight.
they're screaming just for power. It's like it's like grunting in a tennis move, man. That's all it is. Like, nah. Just imagine doing that for like 5 minutes until you pass out and then get back. It's fine. It's fine.
But I feel
Oh
like what
yeah.
I really like about the DC TV shows is the
Hmm.
inclusiveness in the cast. It's a for me,
The casts are always well done. Yeah, I love arrows especially.
eh, it's just like there's so many types of people you don't normally see on these TV shows with the big
Hmm.
roles. And for me, that's never really been a big deal. But when DC
Hmm.
started elevating these things, like with Supergirl in the latest season, you had a transgender person, and
Mhm,
Legends of Tomorrow is a great example of a diverse cast that
mhm.
all shine. And things
Yeah.
like that, it just really adds a layer to it for me. It makes me really enjoy it that much more.
Mhm.
So for me, that's why I just really feel like DC TV is a more
Yeah, that's
enjoyable.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, I love Flash season 1. Like, I have a different opinion on each of the CW shows. Like, Arrow's always been my favorite. Like, Arrow season 1, 2, and the first half of 3, perfect. Second half of season 3, what the fuck? Season 4, decent, but not season 1, 2 glory. Season 5, it's the season 1, 2 glory again. That's perfect, amazing. No problem with it. Adrian Chase was a badass and well written. And then season 6, like, it's going pretty decent so far. And then like what you call it, I think, oh no, season 6 is that was when they got into the whole team issues problem. That was okay. And then but the season 7 right now I think is it feels like the good glory days back again, because now that Oliver is like in prison, it kind of feels like the island flashbacks in terms of being grounded and he's limited to his resources and everything and has to rely more on like natural skill and just like street smarts to get past, which I think is cool. And then for Flash, I think season 1 was their best season they ever did.
Yes.
And the thing is, it's very hard to live up to that with the next seasons. And then, in my opinion, it kind of went downhill as every season passes by because a lot of
Uh huh.
just stuff. Yeah, because like the first season, I understood why Barry needed so much help. 'Cause he's barely starting out. Of course, he's meant to be kind of dumb. He's like, I don't know how to stop a fire, and Wells is like, you got to rotate your arms at like this, and then you got to just suck out the oxygen. He's like, I don't know if I can do it. It's like, you can do it, Barry. I believe in you. Ah! And he does it. Like, they know. And then I like how in the news crossover they kind of made fun. So you can't go 9 hours without a motivational speech or something or a hallway talk. And then I don't know, like in Flash, they kind of repeated a bunch of like tropes or like the same, like oh, your friend is actually a traitor. Aha, I got him
Oh my
again.
god.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think the best actor on Flash is definitely Tom
Wells.
Cavanagh, the guy who plays Wells.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep, absolutely. I
yeah.
love that they keep finding different ways to keep him in the
Hmm.
show. I want them to keep doing that. I don't care how ridiculous you have to go. Keep letting him be a part of every season, every episode. He's great.
Yeah. Like that dude, he can't die. Like he will never be jobless on that show. He was always
We'll find another Earth and we'll find him.
yeah, we're gonna until we run out of Earths, that's when we'll give up on him.
And he's so good at doing all these different characters.
Yeah, like he did like the like Sherlock was like the French accent. And then there's like the whole there's like remember the Council Wells? They had like a
Yes.
German Wells who was like Steve Jobs, and then they had like a cybernetic apocalyptic one, and then everything is just so good. I know I love when they throw back to like Reverse Flash, like his evil self, like just in the time travel experience, and they show him back again. I'm just like, oh shit, that's right. He's good at being evil and scary. Word. Like I just totally get thrown off, and just God, he kills it every scene he's in. And
Absolutely.
then, yeah, I think Legends of Tomorrow, though, I think they're having the most fun among the shows because in terms of like canon keeping to the comic, they're the least restricted by far, since they're all mostly a bunch of side characters in comparison to someone famous as Green Arrow, Flash. So they just get to do anything they want. And then I'm glad they brought John Constantine, like after his show got canceled. And
Constantine
then,
is so good.
yeah, did you watch the Constantine TV show like when it
I
came
did
out?
not.
Well, it's they have it on the CW seeds, like on the CW apps. I think you should definitely watch that. But Constantine is like such a cool character. I feel bad because I went to San Diego Comic Con a couple years ago when they first announced Constantine in Gotham, and among those shows, I thought Gotham was gonna fail and just drown out, but Constantine's the one that died out. Like the problem with Constantine was like the plot and the writing and the effects were amazing. It was very dark. It kind of felt like a Black Mirror level of dark and tragic, but mixed with magic, kind of like a depressing Supernatural, but it's all about one dude.
Yep.
And then the problem is they had a time frame that was really crappy, where it would showcase it Friday nights at 10 o'clock at night, and there's
Bad time.
networks like, why is nobody watching the show? Well, why don't they watch on a Friday night at 10 o'clock? Aren't they not busy? And then they're like, you know what? Let's cancel the show. The show's not worth it. I'm just like, no, you just gave the crappiest time schedule possible. No one's gonna wait. Oh boy, 10 p.m. and then watch. No one's gonna do that. Like that was just really poor decision making. And then several months of show was canceled. And then Arrow like had him as a cameo and everything, which was. And then later on, his character disappeared again, and just got a couple of name drops. And then he became a season regular on Legends of Tomorrow. I'm just like, thank
Legends of
God.
Tomorrow is absolutely the most fun of the shows
Hmm.
because it's just like,
Yeah.
as you said, it's all these side characters that,
Yeah.
frankly, I mean, if you remove Legends of Tomorrow, they don't really matter anymore.
Exactly.
They're
Yeah.
the
They're the whole,
rejects.
exactly the whole point of them being legends. It's like significant to the timelines. Like, yeah, so we're losers who affect on, and that's why they chose them. It's just
Yep.
awesome. Like, yeah, like I remember when Flash started, I never thought you would be in the same universe as like a bunch of time travelers turning into a gigantic doll fighting a demon.
Who was that dude with the code gun?
Vivo. Captain Cold. Captain
Was
Cold or
was that
Leonard
him?
Stark. Leonard
Yeah,
Stark.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I really dislike that he's not on Legends of Tomorrow anymore. I really dislike
Yeah.
that. I thought he was really
Uh-huh.
good.
I think he's good too. I miss his character, but I think the
Same.
way they had him out was a fair way to do it. But it did him justice. It wasn't like a really waste throwaway, but I miss him too.
I
But I'm
like what they
amazed that
did with
they.
the
Mm.
shapeshifter.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, I guess that's another way of like should we just get like an Earth 2 character and just replace her? It's like no, we got a shapeshifter now. I'm like another loophole. I'm like good on you writers.
So what about
Man.
Supergirl?
Oh, Supergirl, like I'll be straight up with you. When I first tried Supergirl, I didn't like it as much because I didn't find it really relatable. Like is I think that the actress Melissa Benoist is awesome and everything, and she nails it. But everything around her, I kind of disagree with, in my opinion. Because whenever I see the fight scene she has, it's very simplistic, and then I don't like the choreography as much. Like stuff doesn't get as done in the way I would like it to get done. Like in Flash, it feels very smart in some ways, where it's like I'll use my hands to take out the fire. That's cool. And Supergirl, she just like snaps out of it and actually punches them out and gets it done. And then they kind of drill into your head, in my opinion. Are like, she's a girl, she's a girl, she can do this, she can do that. She's a girl. By the way, she's a girl. I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Just have her do hero stuff. Like, have you seen the show Agent Carter by any chance?
Yes, I loved Agent Carter.
I loved Agent Carter because, in my opinion, I think they handle like Agent Carter and Wonder Woman. They kind of handle the whole female heroine aspect pretty well, where they don't stand by. They don't emphasize the point that oh, she's a woman, she can do it. They just do it. Like it doesn't matter if it was a woman or a man in the lead role. Like if they switch the genders, they wouldn't. It wouldn't even matter in terms of the character impact. Like when Agent Carter gets told, it's like, but a woman can't lead the squad, and she just like whatever and just gets it done. and it's good to go. That's awesome. In Wonder Woman, they barely mention like, "Oh, she's a woman and she has super strength." They're like, "Cool," and they don't even they barely mention the word woman at all from that point, and they just treat her just like this is gonna sound weird, but they treat her like just a normal person. Doesn't matter what it is. But in Supergirl, my problem is she would get the job done, and then they'd be like, "And she's a girl." And by the way, I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not what should make her character her character. It should be just her merit and what she does with her powers and her personality. Like that shouldn't be a standpoint. You know what I mean?"
I feel like Supergirl from a show, I definitely feel like it's the lowest of the four,
Hmm.
but I feel
Yeah.
like what Supergirl has going for it is the characters.
Hmm.
It's not so much the action of Supergirl, it's more the characters and the dialogue there, which
Hmm.
I'm not saying it's the best show of the four. I'd definitely put it at the bottom with, well, Flash, I mean,
Hmm.
Flash has its moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel like out of the four, Legends of Tomorrow would be my number one just because it's they just get to have fun. It's just the rejects having fun.
Yeah, I could see that. I think in my opinion, I put Arrow at the top because they started the whole. I have a kind of a bias with Arrow because they started the whole universe, and I think season one and season two are definitely like probably like among the best hero TV show seasons I've ever seen in my life, and I just stand by it. But I think I'd put like I used to say Flash would be a close second, but now I put Legends Tomorrow as a second because as a whole, Legends is just they get better every season. Flash has been
Yes.
kind of dying down each season, even though their first season was perfect and they did nothing wrong there. And then maybe I'll put Supergirl at the bottom, but yeah.
Oh, I'm two off topics about two other
Hmm,
TV shows. Do
sure.
you watch Z Nation?
Z Nation, I watched it for a little bit, but then I kind of dipped out, to be honest.
I hate you. Okay, next.
Didn't they get canceled too?
It did. I hate it. I hate it so much. I also hate that
Good.
Gotham, which was my other thing. I hate that this is their final season. I wish that they would just keep going. It's such a good cast.
Yeah. Also,
You're losing it.
all the actors on Gotham kill their scenes, especially I think that it's too hard to really name it, but off the top of my head, I was gonna say I like how they handled Riddler's character, like how
Yes.
they took their sweet time making him evil. It was just so well done. And then also Penguin has some really badass scenes where like to the point where I know Penguin's supposed to be a villain, and if you just look at any most of the comic books like that just have him as a one-off like villain, like Batman, beware these exploding penguins. You just so like you're just meant to not like him. There's nothing appealing about him, but in Gotham, they make him awesome. And when he does bad things, I'm like, you know what? If I was Batman Penguin, I'd let you slide. You're kind of cool. Like I'll just let it go. But yeah, like oh, speaking of diversity, I think Gotham is the most diverse one among all the TV shows because like not only do they have like white, black, they have like Asian female lead characters and male. Like Hugo Strange in the comic books, he's a white guy, but they had him played by an Asian actor and he killed it. Because like if I just close my eyes and just only like imagine like the glasses and just the beard, I'm just like that is Hugo Strange from the comic books. It feels so much like it. He's so terrifying but methodical at the same time. It was just awesome. And then everyone just does such a good job. But to be honest, I think they're going with the route of like they're going to end on the best high note they can before it might get worse because no show can be perfect forever. Like
Disagree.
Simpsons. You think like did you watch Smallville by any chance?
Supernatural can keep going in a circle for 10 more years. I'm going to keep watching it and I'm going to keep rooting for him to keep going. I
Okay,
don't
that's
care if
fair
you're
enough.
going in a circle. It's such a good cast. When you have such a good cast of people that bond so well in their scenes, it's just,
Hmm.
it should be a crime to end the show and they separate.
Yeah, I guess to each their own then. I mean, like,
And
I would
like
love to watch it. Hmm?
with Gotham, like I feel like one of the worst cast members was the younger Ivy. And what do you know? They replaced her.
Yeah, they replaced Ivy like twice. I miss
Yeah.
Maggie Gihas, the fun Ivy. I miss that one.
Yeah.
Is like it's like when they like the new actress, she's good, but like they kind of made Ivy just kind of cliche evil now. Like I thought you're just gonna make Maggie Gyllenhaal slowly evil, like they did with Riddler. Because when you first see Riddler, he seems like the nicest guy, ever. He's just really shy. But then, and then he just is like, "Oh, hello, Captain," and then like he's like, "Oh, you want to hear how to find the next clue?" And then like Nigma just give it straight like, "Okay, it's over there." And just shoot super shy on the girl he likes, and then now he's like one of the biggest crime bosses ever in Gotham. And then with Maggie Jihaz, I thought they're gonna do it like that, where she just starts off just as a kid, but then she matures and defends the plants. But then they change the actress. I'm just to make, because the actress is more intimidating. I'm just like, okay, but I don't know. I miss her.
I'm
But
gonna miss
yeah,
Harvey.
yeah, me too. Harvey Bullock, yeah, he's funny. Actually, I think among the characters that I agree with the most, like morality wise, are probably Alfred. I think Alfred's like just a pure badass, because like they went for like the Earth 2 Alfred, where he really shows like his military background, and he just like has a bunch of action scenes too, which I thought was a good twist. Instead of making it all like although old but always super polite, they just made him a badass in the show. He just does anything he wants. I think my favorite scene was when there was that one lady, like there's like some old lady in an interrogation chair, and he's like, "Oh, good cop, bad cop, huh?" He's like, "Nope," and like gets a knife, stabs her right in the hand. Is like, "I'm a butler." I'm just like, "Yeah, get it over."
I love that his character may be older, but Alfred's a badass. That's just how it
Exactly.
is. He'll
Mm-hmm.
kick everyone. He's got this.
Exactly. So I don't know. Like part of me, it's kind of Gotham, like politics, in my opinion. It's kind of a good and a bad thing they're ending at the fifth season. So I feel like maybe they're unsure if they can keep that good streak going. And I guess some shows it's good to just end it while you're ahead. And then some shows they might think they're good, but then slowly it might get worse depending on what show it is. Like a lot of the animated shows, like I think Family Guy and Simpsons got worse like right now versus like their day 20 or something, like when they started. So I don't know. I kind of respect they just want to end it as best they can, but I am gonna miss it for sure.
You know what I want?
Mm.
The original idea with Gotham was they'd do it until Bruce became Batman. Okay, do that. And then remove Bruce from the show, spin off, Gotham 2.0, and just remove Bruce from the equation.
Like just have like the whole Gotham show, but now Bruce is just training,
Yeah,
and then
he's
just
off straight in.
if they ever wanted like how's Bruce doing? Oh, he's learning kung fu from some dude like some race dude. Yeah, some race dude. I think he was here in Gotham 10 years ago. Oh, forget about it. Anyways, what were we talking about, Jordan?
Yeah, that's
uh,
what I want. I want them to spin it off or do something to keep that show going. Do like they did
mm-hmm.
with Supernatural. Whatever. What was the situation with Supernatural? Like they said for months that the season before this was the final season, and
Mm-hmm.
then when it started airing, they stopped saying that. What happened?
I don't know. I think like the fans are probably like one of the strongest fan bases in the CW, in terms of like as long as it's selling well, they will keep going, especially with that show because that one produces the most consistent numbers, I believe. So
I
more
want
power
Crowley
to them.
back.
That'll be cool too. But
Supernatural has
yeah.
had a lot of sad deaths.
Mm-hmm. Actually, a
Cur-
lot of the shows that we talked about have sad deaths, to be honest.
True.
Hmm.
When I was in high school, I was so cold, but now it's like I just tear up at a lot of these sad moments in TV shows. I can't help it.
I think the saddest, like one of the saddest scenes for me was like when like Flash and his mom at the end of season one. I'm just like I like how they handled that. Like he still went there. He's like, I want you to know that we're okay, and then we're gone, and then just left. I'm just like, yeah. But then when they announced season two, I'm like, how are they gonna top that? And then they didn't, and I was like, you know what? That's fair. It's pretty hard to top anyway.
You know, that's actually a
but
good question when it comes to how we feel about characters. On this
mhm.
season of The Flash, how do you feel about the antagonist?
Cicada's all right, I guess. It's interesting. I think the character is definitely scary for sure.
I feel
But
like I can sympathize with his backstory and what caused him to go down this path.
mhm, same.
It's
Like I yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
it's just that the same time it's like they need to defeat him, but at the same time, hopefully
Mhm.
it doesn't involve him killing himself, or
Yeah.
the whatever is draining him with using
Mhm.
that thing doesn't kill him,
Or they
and we
get
can
like a
have
li
a happy ending.
or they might do that thing where, like, the villain accidentally kills themselves in some way.
Yeah.
Barry's like, "Well, I'm the hero, what am I gonna do? It wasn't my fault. He just jumped into a tornado. Whoops." I kinda hope they have, like, a happy ending with him. I think that'd be nice for a change.
You know what
Uh
also doesn't make sense?
uh,
They made a big deal about their daughter being there and messing with the timeline, and then, like,
yeah.
2 episodes later, they just stopped caring about what happens to the timeline and her being there.
Like you're like, "It's okay, you just wanted to see your dad. It's all good." I'm just like,
Like
"No, come on, man.
like,
We've been through this."
yeah, it isn't just me, right? Like, that doesn't make
Mhm.
sense from a
Yeah.
writer's perspective, like, that should mess with the timeline, her still being there.
Yeah, like, at the end of season 1, they were like, "You know, we shouldn't mess with time, just leave it be. That's why I'm not gonna save my mom." I'm just like, "You know what? I respect that. Amen." Season 2 is like, "You know, Mom, I'm gonna get you out of here." What the fuck? Like, come on. Like, dude, like, why did we just go over? Like, that's the only biggest problem I have with Flash is kind of inconsistency of what the characters want and, like, their morality or, like, their rules get changed for, like, the slightest things. I mean, the actress who
Yeah.
plays the daughter is great, and she definitely they casted her very, very well. But I don't get why they just let her stay there, or
I
I
didn't
don't
like
know.
her at first, it took me a few episodes.
Me too. At first, I thought she was a little bit annoying and just a bit random, but then
She was
now
too
she's somewhat
much.
cool. Yeah, yeah. Like she didn't seem calm at all. Like just always like annoying a bit, kind of like a little kid, which I guess is what they're going for. But yeah.
I'm
Now I like her
really
better.
I'm really glad and really appreciative of how Legends of Tomorrow included why they're not a part of the crossover this year.
No, we didn't get an invite. I bet they're gonna switch costumes this year.
Yeah, I really appreciated that line. I mean, it's not much, but it's an explanation
I
inside
think
that
that
universe.
yeah, I like how the writers acknowledge, like, we know what we did, we're quick, like, yeah, okay. I think it's cool that they just didn't, like, they didn't just keep Legends going as if, like, they don't even know about it in a way. So, I think that's fair.
So I feel like final topic before we end it off. We've gone on a
Mhm.
long time.
Yeah, hour 40 on my timer right now.
Yeah, it's up there. So, do you have any New Year's resolutions for
Ooh.
2019?
Like, I'm trying to think. I know in terms of New Year's resolutions, I always try to make it small. Like, I don't know. Like, it used to be, it's like, I'm gonna get a girlfriend this year. But now it's been like, I'm gonna stop being tardy to class. And then I kind of fixed that. So that's good
Boo.
progress.
Skip school.
Yeah, so take all my sick days off. But in terms of this coming year, I haven't really fully decided on them yet. I don't know. I think it might be just wanting to be more productive in terms of like financially, because like I'm a student right now and I've just been focused on school stuff, but I think I should dedicate more time into I don't know making some sort of like income or something for myself for
YouTube
sure.
money.
YouTube money would have been great like 10 years ago, but now it's like oh god, YouTube is. I don't want to rant about YouTube's copyright issues, and that's going to be a whole other 3 hours. So but anyways, yeah, I think just I want to better myself financially and get into like a better habit. Like in terms of saving money, I feel I'm pretty good with it, but in terms of earning, I'm not as productive as I think I should be. So I think I'm gonna work on that for sure.
For me, my New
Hmm.
Year's resolutions, I had 3, but I realized in the last episode that I forgot one of them and it's never come back to me. So I
Huh.
concluded whatever the third one was, it wasn't important.
My
Number
New Year's
1,
resolution is different. Just to remember what that third one was. I'll figure it out by
yeah, that'll be the
2020.
new. That's the new one. It's to remember that. But
Oh, I remember. It was to stop being forgetful. Damn it.
dang it, foiled again. But I feel like
Yes,
number
sir.
one, of course, generic. Everyone has this for the most part. Lose weight, get it to your
Hmm.
ideal weight. I feel like I'll actually execute on that. And number
Hmm.
two, it's just to continue to better myself. Every year
Hmm.
you gotta improve yourself. You gotta improve on your flaws. You gotta get things lined up for the future. And I feel like I'm
Exactly.
Slowly but surely, working on it. The podcast being
That's
the
good.
recent example of
Yeah.
it's building,
It's
it's growing.
it's a marathon, not a race. So as long as you're beating your past record time, you're good. I know some people like in terms of bettering themselves, some people make a common mistake where they look at the dude next to them who's like achieved so much and everything, like I'll never reach that, and they just give up. It's like you'll hit that eventually as long as you keep running. So just focus on yourself. As long as you're doing better than your past self, you're good. So
What if I
just keep
trip
moving.
my past self so I can do better than my past self?
Okay, Flash, calm down. There's enough timelines getting messed up. We don't need that too.
But Legends of Tomorrow messes with the timeline all the time.
It's fine. It's fine. They saved the world. It's fine. Shh. It's all good. They stopped Wallace. That's fine.
I hope
Yeah,
Nora gets brought in as a full-on legend in a couple seasons.
I kind of miss Wally already. I kind of forgot what happened.
They didn't really. They kind of wrote him off in Flash or Legends of Tomorrow. They said something along the lines of that he needed to go find himself still, and he was gonna continue to do his meditation and stuff.
Oh
But
yeah.
off the
Uh,
show, he was just moving on to different things. You know, he
yeah,
said
I
he
guess the
wasn't
actor.
opposed to coming back, but right now he wants to do other things.
Word. I still miss him, but yeah, fair enough.
But I definitely want Nora to be a full-on legend, and Constantine needs to stay.
Yes.
Who do you think's the next legend that'll leave?
That'll leave. I think the shapeshifter, in my opinion, or maybe Zari. Honestly, I think among them,
Zari.
yeah, I could feel them like getting rid of her if they wanted to.
That'd be kind of sad. I like her character.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of sad when Stein was gone. I'm just like, no more
That was a
singing
sad
notes.
moment too.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's something else that makes Legends Tomorrow fun. It's not the same cast every year. They change it up or add or subtract or move people around. It's a chessboard that you keep adjusting.
Exactly. So everything feels fresh, which is a good practice.
Until Constantine kills everyone.
No, he will be fine. He's fine.
I couldn't believe how good Constantine was. I wanted to watch the animated shows they showed on CW, but I just couldn't find myself anywhere to care about the animated stuff they did.
Those are only like 3 minutes long. Get through it in like an hour tops.
I just couldn't care.
They're kind of like, now I think about it, it's kind of like a bit of a. I think he's for sure he has the best Constantine voice among all the iterations he's done. So I don't know. Part of me like enjoys it. Part of me just likes listening to him. So it was just I thought the animated scene was pretty cool. Also because they can go out more with the effects of the magic and everything since it's animated. But yeah, I liked it. But in terms of impact on the story, the live action show doesn't do much.
Nope.
Which is fair.
So, one more question before we wrap things up. Which do you prefer? Loki in the Marvel movies? Or Gabriel on Supernatural? Which trickster?
That's tough.
I have to lean towards Gabriel myself.
I was going to say Loki because I like the actor more in terms of interviews. I think he's hilarious. So it's kind of like a bias outside of the shows.
At least it's even. We balance things out. Thanos will not kill us.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Yes. Anyway, tell us where we can find you.
Okay, you could find me on youtube.com/Domonero7. That's DOMONERO7. And also, I help run the Thick Men podcast, so you can see me. Whether also, is it cool if we leave that in the description for them to find?
Absolutely. Everything will be in the description down below.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
The Thick, very thick.
Thick as in THICC Men podcast. You can just search it up on YouTube. You'll find the channel, no problem.
Only 2 C's? Man, that must not be too thick.
We'll get the extra C's as the seasons go along. So.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like.
Mhm,
Make sure to comment down below if you have any thoughts on anything we discussed. If you feel
mhm,
Gabriel or Loki is the better trickster. If you
mhm.
feel Supernatural isn't just being focused on girl or anything else we talked about.
If you like
China's,
silver underwear,
yeah,
yeah.
silver underwear, China's fun situation. They're just trying to help people. But make
Mhm.
sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, check out his stuff in the description down below.
Thank you.
We are out.
Goodbye. Love you.